This is Felt Recoil.
All right, yeah, welcome to the Felt Recoil podcast. My name is Chris, and across from me is
Patrick.
Nice to have you here, sir. It's episode number 59. That's pretty good. A year and a week.
Keep ticking up.
You haven't murdered me yet, so congratulations on that.
As far as you know.
My wife tried somewhere about a week ago into our marriage. 58 weeks into that, we found out there was a hitman out there, and for basically a McDonald's value meal and a high five, he was going to take me out. We got a lot to get to this week. Glock has a new gun on the market. So does Springfield Armory. Those guys are definitely taking pages out of each other's books. What else? Oh, Donald Trump actually making me very, very happy. And the strangest customer service phone call I've ever experienced. Share all that and more with you right after we get to our charity of choice this week. It is No White Flags, teamgleason.org. Never quit, never give up. teamgleason.org. Steve Gleason will always be remembered for his blocked punt on the night the New Orleans Superdome reopened for the first time after Hurricane Katrina. Steve played for the New Orleans Saints from 2000 to 2008. In 2011, Steve was diagnosed with ALS, otherwise known as Lou Gehrig's disease. He's determined to inspire others by continuing to pursue life adventures despite his diagnosis. If you haven't seen the documentary about his life, you must go watch it now. Look for Gleason. The official documentary is on iTunes and on Amazon, but please visit teamgleason.org, learn a little bit more about what they do, and then consider giving to this noble cause. Okay, on to the show. And thanks for all the support to all the charities we mentioned, by the way. Much, much, much appreciated. So I had an interesting weekend this last weekend. Did you have a good New Year's? Do you get into New Year's?
Not really. I'm too old for that, I think.
Okay. See, I think so too. And I think if you're perpetually 20, you get into New Year's. But
yeah,
if you're not,
that's a thing for people in their early 20s.
Right.
And beyond that, it just doesn't really matter anymore.
It's now 2018.
We sat on the couch and watched Ryan Seacrest and talk crap about everybody that was on that. Like all the musicians that we had never heard of. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was like boy band after
Awkward
Florida Georgia Line.
Yeah.
And it was just horrible music. Mm-hmm. But we continued to watch it for some strange reason.
It does have a way of drawing you in where it's like a train wreck.
Lindsay and I need our own podcast where we just sit in front of the TV and talk crap about whatever's on. I think that would really sell.
It can be done.
Yeah.
So I had a busy weekend with my kids, and I not so long ago kind of ran into an old friend. We've been friends for a very long time, but you know how it is. Like, you have these friends that you know, but you don't spend a lot of time with. And he has a son now who's of the same age as my oldest son. And we kind of crossed paths again. I said, man, we got to get our boys together and we got to hang out and catch up. So we did that. We decided we would take the kids to the park, and I piled the bikes into the minivan, and we head over to the park, and the kids ride bikes, and he and I walk and talk, and yeah, it was a good day. The point is, I came home. I said to my wife, I got to tell you, and I know this is so backwards because I've been saying, thank God we don't have a car payment. But I really feel after today like we could really use a nice truck for the family. If we got a nice full-size truck, something that would seat all three kids in the back, blah, blah. She says, yeah, I mean, I'd be okay with that if you want to find a nice truck and this and that. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to think about it. And to this moment, I'm still not sold that I even want a truck or need a truck or any of that. But when you start piling bikes and a kayak and that kind of stuff, and you're taking these family adventures, it would be nice to have something that suits those needs. Plus, you can go get mulch and dirt and all that on the weekend.
You don't have to sell me on it. I already have one.
You already have a nice truck. Absolutely right. So I'm walking you through my thought process, and I'm telling you that I have this idea.
I know what you're doing. Uh-huh. I just want to give you crap about it.
Oh, what am I doing? I'm justifying it to myself? Yeah. Oh, of course. But we'll see. So there's a flip side, because I have all these little projects I like to be a part of and things I like to do. And you think to yourself, okay, I can have a car payment every month, or I can buy all these little fun things every month. And I like buying the fun things every month,
Funny how that works.
Yeah. So that's kind of why I'm not sold that I'll go out and get a truck. But the point is this. I went to my bank USAA, and I said, hey, how much money would you guys give me to go buy a truck? Let's just say I want to go buy a truck. Can you look at my credit and how much can I have? Well, how much do you want? So I said, I don't know. What's ballpark figure on a nice truck? So I find a number. I send them the number, and they send me an email, and they say, okay, so you've been approved, but my interest rate was like 2 points higher than I expected it to be. And so I call, and I said, hey, so I kind of went open-ended on this. Is there a way to get the interest rate down? And I get this girl, and it was the weirdest exchange I've ever had on customer service ever. First of all, I couldn't hear.
Hold, please.
Yeah. More like this. More like, hey, thanks for calling USAA. How can I help? I was like, hello? Can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Barely. But okay, so I had a couple questions. I laid my questions on her. How do I get my interest rate down? She goes, well, you asked for money to buy a 7-year-old car because I put in there that might not be a new car. So they ask you, will you buy a 2016 or 2017, or will you possibly buy something that was made 2008, 2015? Well, I chose the latter of the two. I said I'd buy those. And she goes, so that's why your interest rate's higher. If you'll buy a new car and we loan on it, you automatically get like a point off your interest rate. Okay. All right. I didn't know that. So yeah, I can do that. Sure. Also, if you'll extend the terms, right? So if you'll take forever to pay your car off, we'll lower your interest rate. Okay. And then if you'll use our car buying service, we take another half point off. So at this point, we're down to where I want to be. And I go, oh, okay. Well, yeah. So then that obviously lower interest increases your budget. You can buy a better car for the money, blah, blah. So I said, okay, I like this. Sounds good to me. And then I did that thing that everybody does where you change your tone and then you use a closing phrase. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
You're done with the conversation.
Wrapping it up.
Yeah. And I say, well, listen, I appreciate all the help. I'm going to dive in. Oh, wait. I'm leaving out a very important part. So as we're talking, I said, so I'm just trying, I'm looking at the numbers here. You guys have me at a 5.9 interest rate, and according to your website, I could get 3.9. She says, "Yeah, okay. Well, let me take a look. Sir, are you logged in?" Yes, I'm logged into my account. Okay, can you log out for me, please? Sure, I can log out. She goes, if you'll log out, I'll be able to get in and see your account, and I'll see the terms of the loan and blah blah. So that's weird. I wouldn't have thought that, but okay. So I log out, and I'm basically sitting there at my laptop, and I'm staring at a blank screen, basically, fighting the urge to just get on Facebook while she talks, and like scroll through Facebook. And we get all this settled about the interest rate. We get back down towards 4% like I wanted it. And I say, okay, well, I do that thing like I was talking about. Appreciate it. I'm going to dig in here. And she goes, well, let me just ask, what models are you looking at? What are you looking at? And I say, oh, well, yeah. Well, actually, I really like the GMC Sierras. Okay, I got a buddy that's driving one. I rode in it a couple times. It's nice. Like the Toyota line. Problem with that, the Tundras, which is what I would need.
There's no problem with that.
Well,
no problem with Toyota.
There's no
Only problems with you, Chris.
Okay, yes, sir. However, just from my perspective,
I don't know how you think you and my dad are ever going to be roommates if you don't like Tundras.
We're going to be BFFs. Well, he's going to drive the Tundra, and when we go around the city and only need 15 miles to the gallon, we'll take his car.
All right, fair enough.
And then when I have to get on the highway and go to Columbia for the day, and I would like to get closer to 25, then we'll get in my Sierra 1500 or the Silverado. And so that's kind of what I'm telling her is, I'm trying to weigh these options. And I kid you not, she starts shopping. She's like, yeah, GMC Sierras. Oh, these are nice. Are you thinking crew cab? Are you thinking standard cab? And I go, well, I got 3 kids, so yeah, I'm going to get crew
she's
cab.
Moonlighting at CarMax or something?
Well, I don't know. Well, she's looking through the USAA car buying service. So she's on the website. So remember, I can't be on it and look with her because I had to log out so that she could see the terms of my loan.
Chris, could you log out so I can shop for you?
That's what she did. She is literally shopping. She goes, ooh, I see a nice one here. It's got some pretty high miles. It's about 50,000 miles. But
what do you think about this one? Has really low miles, but what do you think about purple?
Right. So I'm really trying to kind of kindly get her off the phone, and it occurs to me, you know who this a very nice woman. Okay, she was very kind. But it occurred to me, she's just not picking up what I'm putting down, where I'm all like, okay, well, I got to go. Okay, well, have a nice day. Hey, And I was trying to, and legitimately I was surprised because I got the email. I'd put the kids to bed. It was 8:30 at night. And I got an email saying, hey, you've been approved. Here's how much you can spend. Here's the terms of your loan.
I think she was just lonely.
Well, yes. But also apparently they're open till 11 o'clock at night. So when I clicked on call me, I said, well, let's just set up an appointment. And I said, you call me when you can. Gave him my phone number. And within 5 minutes, my phone rang. I was like, oh, crap. You know, it was out of San Antonio, which I knew was USAA. So I'm chatting with her. And she's going on. But it occurs to me.
Were you all like, hey, Carmen. Sorry, I got to take this late night call from San Antonio.
You got that right. Girl, stay upstairs. We're talking extended cabs. No, what I thought was this is a woman who was probably super excited about New Year's, because I do think there's a personality divide in those of us who look at New Year's and get excited, because in my world, you're only allowed so many times to be excited about the new year until you have to just admit the problem is you. How many times can you stay up and say, good riddance last year, I'm going to get it right this time, until we finally go, listen, Seacrest, there's just something fundamentally wrong with you. It's not the day of the year. The calendar has no bearing on this. The cycle of the moon, the pull of gravity. This is actually all about you. And we need to figure out what it is about you that is the problem. Because what could have been so bad about your year where you go, you know what I got to do? I get rid of this entire year. Everything was terrible. And in 2018, I look forward to being this much better. Now, and I'm not talking about in 2018, I hope to grow my business to this point, or in 2018, I hope to lose this much weight. What I'm talking about are the people who are so melodramatically excited that they post on Instagram all like
very vague terms.
Everything behind you is behind you. No need to look in the rearview mirror. Only look forward from this point on. And you go, what is so bad about your life that this is you? And again,
but it's not realistic.
Not this year, but every year before.
It's not realistic, right? So you can't just forget everything that's happened and move forward. That's not really how life works. So it's just this sort of whole idea that's sort of rooted in this absurd idea that you could just sort of forget your past and move along.
Right.
I mean, if that were the case, I think humanity would be completely different, but everybody knows it doesn't work that way. So you just have to kind of deal with your whatever the problems were in your past.
Yes, sir.
And if your year sucked, you should actually learn from those mistakes, and you shouldn't really just discard them. And you should be able to build on that and move forward. So that's, I think that but if I told that to 23-year-old me, I'd be like, what are you talking about?
You moron. Who are you? You make a very valid point in the fact that if the world would just remember that there is no changing the past, but you're never going to forget about it, but you have to just put it behind you and move on. I think people would be a lot nicer to each other. I tend to believe that people are really mean to other people because something is still bugging them about themselves. Okay, myself included in that. Usually when I find myself really mad about something, I can dig in and go, okay, wait, what are you really mad at? Well, I'm mad at myself because of this. I can be mad all day that the trail I was riding last weekend was hard, but what I'm really mad at is the fact that I had 3 tacos and a beer the night before, and that's what's making it difficult. And then I followed that up, by the way, with cake and ice cream with the wife. That's what's making me mad. I'm not mad at the trail. I'm mad at me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, also this idea of let's encapsulate it in a day and a time and say that now that day and time is behind me, I can magically move forward and never worry about it again. Every book I've ever read, from The Power of Habit to anything else that's kind of like a human psychology examination, they never say you got to wait till New Year's Eve. They always seem to indicate if you got something you want to fix it now. Do it now. There's no more excuses. Get up tomorrow and do it differently, and you'll be all right. So it's just interesting and more annoying, by the way. Can I just speak to Fox News and CNN for a minute? Guys, you're a bunch of prudes, okay? Bill O'Reilly is a prude, even though he doesn't work there anymore. Jesse Waters is a prude as much as he doesn't want to be one. Juan Williams is a prude. Don Lemon is a prude. Everybody that works in news professionally is a prude. You're not fun people, okay? You don't go out and have fun for a living. We get that. Stop pretending. Stop acting like somehow, because it's New Year's Eve, you can suddenly be some laid-back, cool hipster that I want to spend the night with and crack champagne, and suddenly you know how to be the life of the party. You don't. It's not what you do. I come to you for information that's unbiased, information that I need to know that I wouldn't know except that you feed it to me, okay? So can you please stop with the New Year's Eve countdowns? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And by the way, in case I forget to say it, nobody cares. I don't want to see Don Lemon and that chick from CNN out telling me how cool it is to take bong hits in Colorado. Did you see that, by the way? And I don't need the Fox News crew acting as if they know how to go out and have a good time. I don't believe you do, because I happen to believe that you have sacrificed every good time you could have possibly had to having a multi-million-dollar career. This is the way it is. Okay?
But what if you want your ear pierced?
Then Don Lemon's your man on New Year's Eve. Go with your nipple, Don. Go with your nipple. Anyway, I can't stand it to the fact that, I don't know, it's probably like 10:30, 11. My wife turned Fox News on. I said, can we please watch anything else? Just put anything else on except these stupid New Year's Eve countdowns. So I literally turned Apple TV on, and we watched 3 episodes off the first season of The Office, and it was 11:55. We switched it back to Fox News, watched the ball drop, and literally watched one more episode of The Office and went to bed. That was my New Year's Eve.
Sounds pretty solid.
I had a great time. But I'm a little lost on the whole, let me celebrate New Year's Eve as if this is going to change my life forever, because it's not. Okay.
Well, if you look at if you watched it, every time they pan the crowd, it's all like 18-year-old girls.
Yeah.
So that's who's excited about New Year's. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
There was no 40-year-olds there. There was no 50-year-olds there. There was no 60-year-olds there.
All of it predicated on the fact that everyone before them has told them how awesome this is, right?
Oh, I'm
like
sure.
They just think the older crowd is doing it. And so to be mature, I have to understand some really important relevance about New Year's Eve. And then you get all these melodramatic Instagram posts where everybody, like I said a minute ago, everything is behind you. Look forward. Be a new you. If you didn't do it for the last 12 months, you're not doing it today just because. Maybe you can. Maybe that's your catalyst. Maybe that's your motivation is, all right, it's 2018.
But let's be real honest.
Getting it right this time.
Hang on, though.
Yes,
let's
sir.
be real honest.
Okay.
Who has ever, at New Year's, said to themselves, I'm going to be a better me?
Me, every year.
And then
20 years running.
I believe that you have, but who has ever followed through on that?
Right. Few people.
But it's the same idea as, well, I'm going to lose weight, and then the gym memberships in January skyrocket, and in February, nobody shows up, right?
Did you see that meme of the dude laying on the pile of cash, and it said gym owners on January 1 be like, and it's that big old dude laying on a stack of money? Yeah, it was pretty funny stuff. I'll tell you, I will say this. As much grief as I have given Donald Trump about staying off Twitter, so far it's been a banner year for the guy. We're only 2 days in, but I love what he's doing so far. And he's making everybody stop and pay attention to the fact that he told Kim Jong-un that somebody... Which is, I thought this was so good. Everybody's having, obviously heart attacks over it. The New York Times headline reads, social media shudders after Trump mocks North Koreans button. This is what Trump wrote on Twitter. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un just stated that the, quote, nuclear button is on his desk at all times. Will someone from his depleted and food-starved regime please inform him that I too have a nuclear button, but it is a much bigger and more powerful one than his. And my button works. Obviously a reference to the fact that North Korea keeps threatening everybody, but all their missiles fall into the ocean before they make it too far.
And all the liberals are losing their mind over it.
Just unreal. President Trump's tweet Tuesday taunting the North Korean leader. Right. Over the
threatening at all.
strength.
It's based in fact.
Yeah.
That their missile program is a huge joke.
And ours is better. Yeah.
Ours works. We actually know how to hit the target. But they can't get it. They can barely get them off the ground. Didn't they have one like blow up under the ground a couple months ago?
I don't know.
I think they did.
I went down it. Kill a bunch of people?
Yeah.
I'm sure it did. You know, and it's one of those things where if the New York Times, if the New York Times were a person and you're having this conversation, they would say, think about how offensive that is to the North Korean people. And you go, what do you mean it's offensive to them? What do you mean they're on it? What would
They're
it
never
matter?
going to hear it.
What would it matter if Trump killed Kim Jong-un tomorrow? Well, those people, they believe he's God. They believe he is God in flesh. Right. But those people are brainwashed. And the New York Times will tell you, that doesn't matter. You need to stop. We need to be a little more sensitive. No, we don't. No, we don't. The guy is literally starving people to death. He absolutely asks Americans to defect to North Korea. He rewards them with pampered lifestyles so that he'll sell his propaganda to the world. And then we're supposed to do what? Nothing? No, we tell the guy, if you're going to be a bully, we'll kill you before you have a chance to kill any of us. And he shops
at Dr. Evil's Coat Emporium.
That he does. Very impressive. Very impressive. However, one of the overlooked things on Trump's Twitter this week that I think is fantastic is that he says, it's not only Pakistan that we pay billions of dollars to for nothing, but also many other countries. As an example, we pay the Palestinians hundreds of millions of dollars a year and get no appreciation or respect. They don't even want to negotiate a long overdue peace treaty with Israel. I love what I'm hearing about the UN because, Patrick, maybe you can remind me. Tell me if I need to Google this for us. Where was it we found Osama bin Laden hiding?
I believe it was Pakistan.
Was it?
Yes.
Interesting.
And I also believe the Pakistanis did not want us there.
What?
Which leads me to, and maybe it's a bit of a stretch, but it leads me to the conclusion that maybe they knew he was there.
What?
I know.
Patrick.
I'm reaching. I know.
One more follow-up question, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
What did the Pakistani government do with the doctor that helped us find Osama bin Laden? Where's that doctor right now, Patrick?
I think he's dead.
Or in prison?
Is he?
Yeah,
I thought they killed him.
Say he's in prison.
He's in prison?
What? Do I need to
Am
Google
I supposed
this?
to say it with inflection? Probably not.
Hold on.
I thought they killed him.
No, I just thought he's still locked away.
Oh, maybe so. Okay.
Hold on. Great.
Well,
now we're disagreeing on things. Let me Google this for you.
Because that never happens.
In April, he marked 6 years in prison. So I don't know VOA News. Hold on. Let me just find something reputable here. Look, here's NBC in May of last year acting like, Trump hasn't kept a promise. Trump vowed to free doctor who helped find Osama bin Laden. Can he? Stupid NBC. I mean, I hope he can because your boy Obama sure is. I mean, he didn't even try. During the election, Donald Trump promised he would work to free a doctor who was jailed by Pakistan after helping U.S. forces track down and kill 9/11 mastermind Osama bin Laden. According to the doctor's lawyer, the president appears to be just days away from fulfilling that pledge. Quote, we strongly believe that all hurdles will be removed in Dr. Shaki's release. That's not right. Shakil's? I'm sorry, I don't know how to say his name. It's according to his attorney. It's Shakil. His attorney suggested the breakthrough could come during Trump's overseas trip in May of 2017. I don't think it did, by the way.
Okay, so are they saying he's still alive?
Well, I mean, as of May of 2017, though. And I don't see anything. I'll tell you what. Let's do this. Shakil Afridi seems to be his name. I'm going to Google his name. Let's see what's going on with him now. My point is, Dr. Shakil Afridi. Yeah. Let's see if Google says he's still alive. Sacrificial lamb was needed, and the one chosen was the doctor, 48-year-old Pakistani doctor, and sometimes CIA asset who had been arrested. Yeah, I mean, according to everything I'm seeing, he's still alive. He's still in jail.
I would make another point about Pakistan in that Al-Qaeda moved Bo Bergdahl in and out of Pakistan. Multiple times.
That's right.
In order to evade U.S. forces in finding him.
Here's a BBC headline that'll make your head spin. From September 11th, 2012, Pakistani doctor Shakil Afridi, who helped the CIA track down Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden, is regarded as a traitor by Pakistan's security agencies. So what more do you need to convince yourself that the billions of dollars we send to that country is absolutely unnecessary? Just do some math in your head and imagine if every tax-paying adult in America could evenly split $1 billion, how much money could go into your bank account tomorrow? Unfathomable amounts. We could solve poverty in the United States. We could cure cancer. We could stop with St. Jude's ever having to fundraise again. We could really do amazing things. Wait a second. We might even, I know this is going to sound crazy, we might even get ourselves out of debt. Out of debt.
Probably not.
Unreal.
We're not doing that.
So kudos to Trump. Keep it up. I like what you're doing. Right? I got no problems with any of it. All right, there's 2 new guns on the market we're going to talk about here. And I just want to make a plea with Springfield Armory.
Stop it.
Yes, that was it.
Springfield.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
It. Stop what you're doing. Springfield. I want you to listen. Listen to me for a second.
Are you
stop
doing?
It. Just stop.
What are you doing? I can't even keep it. I mean, do we all remember that Springfield just released a 10 millimeter TRP? Do you even remember that?
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, and then
there's a shadowy cloud moving in over that, so everyone forgets that already.
Yep.
Because they've introduced a bunch of junk now.
When the police are minutes away and the threat is seconds away. 911. When you have to be your own first responder. Springfield Armory's 911 380 is the perfect pistol for your everyday carry. Blah, 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 blah. On and on it goes. Nobody's going to read it. It's a SIG 238, Springfield style. I get it.
Let's back up for a second.
Okay. Sorry.
Colt introduced this gun years ago. Okay. Little pocket 380 modeled after 1911, single action. It's all metal frame, metal slide. And it did okay. It didn't do great. They quit making it. SIG started making it.
The Mustang? Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
SIG started making it.
Colt Mustang became the SIG 238. Okay.
And then it got insanely popular because SIG did that thing they always do where they make it in 100 different colors. It's the same gun. They just dress it up different.
But also include night sights and an aluminum frame.
They did a couple things that worked out well.
SIG 238 is not a bad gun.
It's not a bad gun. I'm not a SIG guy, but it does shoot very well. I think my mom is carrying one of those, as a matter of fact. So, and she can shoot with that thing. So it's a good little gun.
Yeah,
I'm not taking anything away from that. My point is that Colt stopped making it. SIG picked up the idea and ran with it, and now everybody else is trying to get in the game because they see how much market share in the 380 metal frame single action arena SIG has picked up.
Right.
So now you have Colt is back making them, I believe. You have Kimber making one. It's across the board. Right. So here comes Springfield. And do you follow From the Gun Counter on Instagram?
Yes.
Okay, so it's brilliant. If you've ever worked a gun counter, you'll get the humor 100%. If you're a guy that is annoying at the gun counter, you'll probably be offended by it. But it's brilliant. The guy, I wish I'd come up with it myself. In fact, I might need to make my own meme page at this point,
right? Just
to piggyback what this guy's doing. But it's great. I love everything he posts. But he made the point that you have the guys come and say, "Hey, where's your 911s?" And they mean 1911, but they call them 911s.
Yeah.
And so he made a pretty funny post about, thanks Springfield for making 9/11 a thing.
Gotcha.
So when the guys come in and ask for 9/11, now you show them that. And like, that's not what I'm talking about the big one.
Right. Although that's fun if you work the other side of the gun counter. It is kind of fun to mess with people when they're like, "Oh, where's your 911s?" Now you can show them that. They go, "That's not what I was talking about." And you go, "That's a 911. What are you talking about?" "I'm talking about those." "Oh, sir, that's a 1911.
Right.
Oh, man.
It's 1,000 more.
I didn't realize. I'm so sorry, sir.
A whole 1,000.
My problem with it is that I'm a big fan of the Springfield Armory Saint. I think they have the AR down pat. I think that was a good release. I think an $800 rifle that comes with everything they've got on the Saint is very, very smart. Okay,
I agree.
But then it loses all of its luster. You've taken all of the fluff out of it. There's no more focus on that because A, you've already come out with 2 more versions, and then B, you've dumped a 10 millimeter 1911. Now you're dumping a 380 911. And why not ride the train? Slow down a little bit.
I think they're trying to pull a SIG and just grab as much market share as humanly possible.
I got to tell you, it makes you feel like they're in trouble. Because you're not just blindly throwing darts at the board if everything's going according to plan. there's no reason to dump this much product on the market if things are going swimmingly. Does that make sense?
And their marketing sucks.
It's terrible.
Can we all agree their marketing sucks?
Yeah.
Remember,
yeah.
And I think the most prime example of that is Grip Zone. Right.
Wow. Well, that's a good point. I was going to go Gun Bunnies. The fact that they hired a dozen Gun Bunnies to try and sell us the Saint.
The Saint was like, oh, yeah, yoga pants.
Right. Nobody cares. But nobody thinks that girl has picked a gun up before. I hate to tell you that.
No. It's not loaded in the photo shoot. I promise you.
Yeah, I guarantee it.
I don't understand what they're doing.
Yeah. And that's kind of the point. Is it's very confusing. So, what am I supposed to be excited about? Am I supposed to be excited about the Saint? Am I supposed to be excited about the Free Float Saint? Am I supposed to be excited about the 911, the 1911 10 millimeter,
the billet Saint?
Right. Exactly.
We are all over the map at this point, right?
All messed up.
But with the Grip Zone thing, I think that was a huge marketing flub. If you wanted to call it the Grip Zone, that's great. Okay, you have different textures around the grip, and that's for different reasons because the way your hands touch the grip, I understand that. I don't know why we had to print in the grip the words Grip Zone.
Sure.
Okay, so they've kind of gotten lambasted over that.
Yeah.
And I think that's deserving because it's ridiculous. But not only, I don't know if you saw this, but there's another new product coming out from them. It's the XDS Mod 2 with Grip Zone.
No, I didn't see that yet.
So, I'm not a huge fan of the XDS as somebody that carries a Glock 43 and has a shield.
Right.
But I don't think the XDS was a bad gun at all. I think it's actually a pretty nice little gun.
Yeah.
I like it in 45 and 9.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know why we felt the need to go back and Grip Zone it and then also put the words Grip Zone on the gun. I don't get it.
It makes you wonder. There can only be... I think there's only one of two answers, right? Like the first answer is A, it's working really, really well, and we just don't recognize that. Or B, somebody has convinced them it's working really well.
Yes, the same marketing firm that bought all the yoga pants.
Maybe. I don't know what agencies they're hiring. I know it's a family member that runs all that, right?
I think it's the owner's daughter.
Yeah, Stephanie Reese is running marketing as far as I was concerned. So it's a family affair is all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're doing it bad I am saying they're doing it bad. I think they need to slow down a little. Slow down, regroup, and understand that the Saint was a home run. The marketing leading up to it was poor. I don't think it got the hype it could have gotten, but the Saint is a home run rifle. Nobody's going to argue the fact that the Saint, for the price point and the quality, you can't really say that the Saint doesn't
people are
compete.
arguing it. They're wrong, but they are arguing it.
Well, it's funny. One of our most viewed YouTube videos is the Saint video where I say this is the best gun you can buy off the shelf for under $1,000. And all of the retorts are, well, I bought this Ruger and it's better, or I bought my M&P Sport and it's better.
Or a Savage.
And then certain rifles that are now on the market that weren't when the video was relevant.
Right.
But the point is, you never get every time one of those comments comes through, if you wanted to, you could point out the items that are missing from that rifle. So yeah, you got an MP Sport, but you didn't get a dust
BCM
cover.
furniture.
Right. You didn't get BCM furniture.
That's the first thing.
Trigger. You didn't get
a lifetime
sights.
warranty. You don't get that from Ruger. So, I mean, the argument to me is invalid because we're although the gun may be apples to apples, what you're actually getting is apples to oranges, in my opinion.
And even then, though, you'd have to convince me, well, wait a second, what parts of the gun are apples to apples? Because Ruger doesn't make an AR of the same quality as Springfield does, in my opinion. Like, they make direct impingement that might be subpar in some people's opinion. They make the pistons that are maybe above
I'll tell
average.
You this.
But
I sent a Ruger back one time because
it fell apart while you shooting it. Yeah.
Basically, yes, that is accurate. It would not, the trigger wouldn't reset. You would pull the trigger, it would fire, trigger would stay back even though the slide cycled. I sent it back. It came back to me, and it was the heaviest, most ridiculous trigger you can imagine. Okay, so they sent me back a big piece of junk in place of a piece of junk. I have never had to send a Springfield product back, but I know someone who did because they broke it themselves.
I like that.
1911, that they broke the safety lever. The gentleman that broke it, sent it back to them, wrote them a letter saying, look, guys, I screwed up. I'm sorry, but I want you guys to fix it because it's your product, and just invoice me for it, bill me for it, I'll pay for it. Instead of that, they fixed it for free. They sent it to the custom shop and did a trigger job on it and said, thanks for being honest with us and telling us that you screwed it up. Here's your gun back with a trigger job.
Yeah.
So when I say apples to oranges comparison in terms of the branding, that's what I'm referring to.
Well, and you'll remember that I had a similar issue with my TRP.
I do.
I have a Springfield TRP, and the trigger got really, really mushy, really gritty. And I sent it back and said, "You guys mind taking a look?" And they replaced a bunch of components, cleaned it up nice, and I'm telling you, it came back better than the day I bought it. Yep. It's a fantastic.
I shot it before and after, so I can attest to that.
It's amazing. So
that was true.
Customer service is on point. Yep. All right. Anyway, Springfield, please slow down. Please just slow down. Go back to being as awesome as you once were, because I was a Springfield fanboy for a very long time, but I feel like you're diluting your own product, and I would like to be able to root for you again. Okay? I mean, I still root for you, just publicly. All right. Piggyback that with the fact that Glock, slow down now, you're never going to believe it. Glock has released the 19X. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait a second, Chris. Glock 19 was perfect, and then it was perfect again, and then they did it perfect 5 more times. But wait, you're telling me they're doing it again perfectly?
Yes, we have reinvented perfection now 6 times.
Glock has introduced their first ever quote-unquote crossover pistol. Is that true, though? The Glock 19X, which combines the best features of 2 of its most popular and most trusted... Wait a second. What is a Glock 30S?
It's 45.
Uh-huh. But what is it? Hey, man, what's the difference between a 30 and a 30S?
That's a chopped... slide on the single stack frame.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's a Glock 30 with a Glock 36.
I don't particularly like the 45, so I don't really pay a lot of attention to them. I like 45, I just don't like it in Glocks.
The Glock 30S, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, is a Glock 30 with the Glock 36's slide on it.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Okay.
And now they offer it, I think, also with the rail. You can get it in 2 different configurations.
How is putting a 19 slide on a 17
look, Chris,
any different? And suddenly the first ever crossover.
It's the best crossover that you've noticed.
No. They're telling me it's the first ever.
Oh, it's the first ever that you've noticed.
Glock says the G19X was developed for the military and is a practical, everyday pistol that will do what you need it to do when you need it to do it. Every time, in every condition, says Glock VP Josh Dorsey. The pistol was developed for the military using Glock's combat-proven experience with consideration to efficiency, dependability, and durability. Through rigorous testing, the G19X stands out above the competition and has the ability to function in all situations with ultimate reliability and accuracy. By the way, this pistol will be heading out January 22nd to select dealers. It's an FDE. It basically looks like a Gen 5
coincides with SHOT Show, January 22nd.
What?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. It's a Gen 5 with a slimmer slide. So if you imagine a Gen 5 Glock 17, I'm not really sure why these gun companies keep trying to reinvent the wheel instead of simply just saying we're improving on our designs. Okay, don't sell this to me as if you've done something revolutionary. Sell it to me as if you've improved
maybe it's
the current situation.
Let's just pretend it's revolutionary for them, but it's not revolutionary for the industry.
Right.
And that point is proven by the fact that I have a FN 509, which is essentially a Glock 19 sized slide on a Glock 17 sized frame, 17 round magazine. So this is not a new concept. This is not like you're not the only one to ever do it. And I don't know that anyone was asking for this. So if this was designed to be a duty pistol,
right?
Let's be realistic here. The Glock 17 was designed for the Austrian army to be their duty pistol of choice. Why do we need a shorter barrel for a gun that's going to be open carried in a holster? I guess I don't understand. The practicality of a concealed gun typically rests on the idea that the grip is concealable, not the length of the barrel. So I guess that's where I have a little bit of an issue with this, is I don't understand what the idea is that we need this for, because I don't see the military needing a shorter barrel, and I don't see concealed carriers in the civilian world needing a longer grip.
Patrick, I think at the end of the day, I just have to tell you that it sounds to me like you don't understand. You have no idea.
Well, thank you for clarifying that.
Look for it, the 19X. What they haven't provided is
hang on.
Yeah.
You're missing some key points about the 19X.
Am I?
I don't think we mentioned that it's all tan.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that? Did you say that?
Go ahead.
I just blacked out?
Yeah, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, but the mags are also tan.
Oh.
And the box that it comes in is not black. It's tan as well.
Just for the record, Glock is calling it Coyote. Okay.
Well, they can call it Coyote all they want.
Check this out.
It's still a weird gun that I just...
Confidence now comes in the Coyote color with the first ever factory colored slide. If you didn't know, Glock doesn't color their guns. Distributors do that once they get them. It does have a PVD slide coating, which is nice. That prevents corrosion, resists chemicals. It's kind of a step up from Cerakote, if you ask me. Additional design features include the Glock Marksman barrel, as Patrick mentioned, enhanced polygonal rifling, and an improved barrel crown for increased accuracy, ambidextrous slide stop levers, and no finger grooves. Like I said, it's a Gen 5 Glock. The pistol includes a standard 17-round mag and two 17+2 round extended magazines, along with a Coyote-colored pistol case.
No finger grooves?
No. Gen 5, 17, essentially. Like that? Good?
People will buy it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's going to happen. They'll buy the crap out of it.
All right, last but not least, this week's VOTA is a good one. Our vote of the week this week is the state of California, which as of the first of the year has now officially become a sanctuary state. California became the first sanctuary state in the country as a bill signed by Governor Jerry Brown went into effect. These are uncertain times for undocumented Californians and their families, and this bill strikes a balance that will protect public safety, while bringing a measure of comfort to those families who are now living in fear every day, Brown said upon signing the legislation. The law prohibits local officials from asking about an individual's immigration status or working with federal immigration agents on cases. So if the federal government, as they were trying with Kate Steinle, is asking California to help them get a violent, illegal alien, an invader out of our country, California as a state will no longer do it, which to me means California no longer deserves the protection of the federal government of the United States of America. Leave them to rot.
Or federal funding in general.
Exactly.
What happens to their roads when federal funding pulls out?
Dry it up. You're exactly right. Let them fall apart, because if they want to commit an act of treason against the United States and allow violent invaders into this country who could very well have ties to terrorism and not do anything about it, not work with us to protect the people of the United States of America, then to hell with you, quite frankly. Like, fine, but you're on your own at this point. You're on your own. Goodbye.
The thing about the VOTA of the week is it's usually somewhat lighthearted.
Well,
and I feel like this week it took a serious turn.
Sorry.
I feel like you got a little chip on your shoulder about California.
I do hate California. But here's a great addition to the story. Drivers entering California are now being greeted with signs proclaiming the liberal bastion as a, quote, official sanctuary state, according to photos and videos circulating on social media. This is from Fox News, by the way, appearing to show a prankster who has attached an official-looking blue sign just below the legitimate Welcome to California markers. The sign reads, Official Sanctuary City. Quote, cheap nannies and gardeners make Malibu great. Also, official sanctuary state, felons, illegals, and MS-13 welcome. They're all over the state. I mean, they look legit.
They do.
They look legit. So,
at first glance, I thought that was what the article was about, was that they actually hung real signs that said they were sanctuary cities. And then once you actually read it, it's pretty funny because obviously somebody's having fun with it.
I wish sometimes that I was that ahead of the curve, because it's so brilliant. It's just really beyond compare, because like you said, you see it coming, you get out there, create the sign. I mean, this wasn't let's think of this today and do it tomorrow. This has been in the works. Yeah. It's that good. It is that good.
They put them up all over the place.
The signs are amazing. They are amazing. In Malibu and at the state line as well. All right, that's it for this week's episode of the Felt Recoil Podcast, number 59. Hulon, good luck with your truck.
Hey, you know how you were saying earlier that you have like this, you change your inflection?
Yeah, to tell you the conversation's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, you going to do that right now?
I'm going to show you how to do it.
Okay.
And then we're going to end the show.
Okay.
Peace. And then I hang the phone up.
Okay.
You don't do that?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
I'll usually say to somebody on the phone, hey, you want to play a game? They go, yeah. I said, let's see who can hang up quicker.
This is Felt Recoil.